Hygiene is a huge thing within Jiu-Jitsu. Not only looking after ourselves, ensuring that our gis are clean, that our rash guards are clean, that our belts are being washed. We have to make sure that our nails are cut because we don't want to be scratching people whenever we're doing the sport. Toenails are cut. Another thing is no shoes on the mat. The reason why we have no shoes on the mat is because the mats are disinfected. If you imagine you're trotting through things all day in your shoes, as beginners, some people just step straight on the mat. If the mat's been disinfected, what we need to do is re-disinfect the mat. We're on there training and sweating, and we do not want to be rolling on top of something maybe you've carried on your shoes for a start. Another thing we'd like to go over is the fact when you go to the toilet, you must have a pair of flip-flops. The reason being is purely hygienic. You do not want to be walking in the toilet barefooted and then coming back onto the mat. We're getting back to the idea that our mat has been disinfected. We're trying to keep everything as clean as possible. So therefore, when you go to the toilet, you must bring flip-flops, place them into the pockets that we have nearest the toilet door, and put them on as you enter the toilet. You take them off as you get to the door again and replace them back into the pockets. Another thing about our mat etiquette is there's no food or drink allowed in the mat. The reason being is because me as an instructor, I end up having to go around and clean the place, which is unnecessary, especially if people eating, and there's obviously stuff lying around that shouldn't be there. And secondly is when you bring water bottles onto the mat, what happens is if people are sparring, they can fall on top of these water bottles. The water bottles then can cause injury, and that's a huge problem. This is totally health and safety oriented. For some people, they find that frustrating because they'd like to get their bottles of water at the sides of the mat. But in the interest of your partners and your partner's safety, we have to make you aware that the drinks bottles need to be left outside the door or within the pigeonholes outside the change room. Another part of mat etiquette is whenever you come early for class and there's a class ongoing, what we expect you to do is you can come into the gym, into the academy, and you sit around the outside. Please keep the noise levels to a minimum. And the reason for that is obviously we want the people in that class to be learning as much as possible and not being distracted by the people on the outside. It's just common courtesy. Whenever you're in class yourself and you have questions about the technique, do not be afraid to ask the instructor questions. Do not be leaving here thinking that you should have asked about something you didn't understand. Once the technique has been taught and you're drawing the position, feel free to call the instructor over, show them what your problems are and let them correct you and help you along your way, because that's what we're here for.